So, you know how they say be careful what you watch, what you read, because you'll consume everything subconsciously or consciously. And that is exactly what happened to me. And I never knew watching movies so much or TV show, like really get it in my head. Like, okay, so I had a dream that I was walking around or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like, I was in a museum, like, okay, museum later. I was going to a movie theater. And then somehow I saw this Instagram girl. Her name is Misty Rahman, and she's an Instagrammer, and I don't know, and she's pretty famous, and everybody loves her. Like, she's really gorgeous. Why would you not? Anyway, and she, like, somehow we met up, and like we didn't meet up, and she just saw me, and so we went to the movie together. We hanged out, and then we went to a museum. And then the thing is, we didn't buy any tickets, so we literally like snuck in, and we were trying to hide, go to different places so we don't get caught from the workers. And so and then we were having fun. And then all of a sudden, as we were doing all this, because we were going up and down different like floors and stuff, going to rows and rows of these places. And I think it was some library we went to, but it was huge. And then, like, all of a sudden, I started thinking, like, why is she hanging out with me? Like, I don't know, why is she hanging out with me? I'm like, we're not friends, so like, why is she hanging out with me? And all of a sudden, I thought of it like that movie, like Mean Girls, like, you know how like they hang out with I don't know, like you have those hot friends, and then they hang around with all these ugly looking girl, or that's what they say, the ugly looking girl, or not the popular girl. And I'm just like, am I like the not popular girl? Am I the ugly girl, like, of a hot friend? Like, what is going on? What? Why is it me? I'm like, oh shit. And so I started asking her, I'm like, so why are you hanging out with me? Like, we don't know each other. Why are you hanging out with me? And she did not answer anything. And we were just hanging out. And the whole time I kept thinking, like, am I the ugly friend? Am I the ugly friend? I'm like, ah! It was just going on in my head for the longest. And all of a sudden, I saw, like, the front of my kitchen. Like, I saw my kitchen stove. Like the cabinets and the sink, and like we were in the woods, and all I see is that like these parts of my kitchen, and then there's nothing else, and we're in the forest or whatever, and we're trying to cook. And then we didn't have a table, so we used the wood, a log, to like hold our pots and stuff. I don't know how we cooked the food over there or where we got our pots from. And all of a sudden, like, we were trying to get water. I think she was trying to get water to add to the pot or whatever. I don't know, to drink, maybe. I don't know. Now that I think about it. Anyway, so like, and so I'm like thinking of getting the water, get a glass, and getting the water from the sink. You know what she did? She opened the cabinet door of this sink, in the bottom, and then she popped a pipe or whatever, and then she started getting the water, and I'm like, girl, what you doing? That's not how you get water. I'm like, that's so. And I was like, we had this whole leakage, exploded of water, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, if we close the cabinet door, does that mean we don't have water anymore? That means like no more leakage, right? So I closed the water. I closed the cabinet door, and then like, so we don't have to, like, we won't see the water leaking. No more water will come out. So water did not come out. And guess what? I woke up, and that was it. I was just like, oh shit. That's funny. But so that made me think. And then I woke up and I'm like, what made me think that? Like, oh, am I the ugly friend? And why is she hanging out with me? And I never thought of it like, oh, because I watched Mean Girls or all this other movie that like teaches you, like, when you have a hot friend or whatever, and everybody and then you just have to hang out with the ugly friend or non good looking friend, so you get all the attention and you become the main character of that group. And so I'm like, I never thought of it that way ever. I did not know that was in my head. And so I'm like, oh, now I do get it when they say, like, be careful what you watch, and gosh, like, I never thought that way. I never thought of myself as ugly, and so, like, or not so good looking. I'm just like, I'm okay, whatever. But that experience made me feel really ugly, because Misty Rahman is really, really pretty and hot. And like, I know last year or whatever, she was going all off on everybody's TikTok, like, oh, how if Misty Rahman was your ex or whatever, like the hot ex, that you cannot get over, so something like that. And I'm like, dang, I hope this makes sense. I don't know, that's just so weird. I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys guess.